Hola! This is my language and cultural contact presentation. In summary, I chose to focus my time on three things. I chose Medline Plus, and I was on there for about an hour. I also listened to Latin radio for about 2 hours, and I watched an episode of Narcos on Netflix for about an hour. Medline Plus is a really awesome website. I liked this website particularly because it was really easy to navigate, and under the medicine, herbs, and supplements tab, it gave you the option to click on any vitamin or any supplement and learn about what its benefits are and how it can be used and how it can benefit a patient. Um, Vitamins and antibiotics are prevalent in really any healthcare setting, so I thought it was really important to take a closer look at them, which was a really fun thing for me to do for this section of my project. Some of the terminology I focused on was folato, which is folate, calcio, calcium, alergia, allergy, resfrios, colds, gripe, flu, and dolores de garganta, which is sore throat. What's unique about terminology, specifically in the medical world for English and Spanish words, is that they have similar Latin roots. So even if you're not sure what a word may mean, it's really easy to follow along and kind of guess at what you think it might mean because the roots are so similar. Like I said, the website was super easy to navigate, and it's really useful for learning things in both English and Spanish, especially for the medical field. Um, Medicine is a worldwide culture, so I think it's important to take advantage of those opportunities. For my second contribution, I listened to Latin radio on Pandora for, several spurts of my day. And this was actually the funnest part of this whole project. And, music is a really big part of my life. And it was cool to focus on a different culture of music that I never really focused on before. Some of the terminology I learned, or words I learned from the songs, were el perdón, forgiveness, sufriendo, suffering, un beso, a kiss, el ritmo, rhythm, los lugares, the places, la melodia, melody, and por dentro me está enloqueciendo, which is inside it is driving me crazy. This portion of the project was cool and unique because it was different from the music I usually listen to every day. And it was really fun to listen to it as well. The tempo was upbeat. The rhythms were really interesting and unique and fast. And a lot of the songs had super passionate meanings, which is really cool to investigate when you're trying to learn the lyrics in Spanish. The use of instruments was different as well. They used like maracas and tambourines and trumpets, guitars, and music was just used with a lot of different instruments. I think a lot can be told about a culture based on the music that represents it. For the last contribution, I watched an episode of Narcos, which is on Netflix. It takes place in Colombia. It talks about a drug cartel and everything. Some of the terminology I learned were los soldados, the soldiers, el patrón, the boss, está clarísimo, it is very clear, pelear, to fight, listo, yes, okay, fine, good. It can mean a majority of those things. It's kind of like if somebody asked you something or told you to do something, then you would respond with that, like, okay, I got it. And then sicario, which is hitman. What I really liked about Narcos was that it focused more on the slang terminology. rather than a more formal approach, which is what we've been focusing on in class. So it was cool to learn about the more informal language. Um, and it was really relatable because in English we don't speak formally all the time. We usually speak more informal, if anything. And what was cool about watching a show this time was because I could visually see the differences in the culture, in their families, in how they practice religion, and how they live their life, which it was completely different from mine. Overall, having the opportunity to expand my Spanish vocabulary and learning environment was a really fun experience. I learned of multiple ways to incorporate learning and studying the Spanish language in everyday activities, and I really do look forward to incorporating what I've learned throughout this course and throughout these two presentations, that the things that I can apply to my everyday life and continue to use them. So I'm excited for the future. Thanks, guys.